we're joined here this evening by all 6 of the candidates. For the Greens, James Byrne. For UKIP, Pete Donnell. For Labour, Sean Simon. For the Conservatives, Andy Street. For the Liberal Democrats, W. Nielsen. And for the Communists, Graham Stevenson. And that, everybody, is your panel tonight. And you at home can join in our debate as well on social media using the hashtag that's on your screen now, WMMayor. Right, let's begin with our first question tonight, and it comes from Graham Slater. Graham Slater, your question.
Good evening. Do we need a Metro Mayor, or is it just another expensive level of bureaucracy?
Sean Simon, you stood down from Parliament in order to fight for an earlier mayoral role, and yet you know, you've heard the evidence of referendums and the rejection in Stoke. There's no great appetite, as we're hearing from Mr Slater.
The most important thing isn't that we have a mayor, the most important thing is that we run our own region.
And devolution from the people to the establishment, said one of your MEPs. So why
we don't believe this is true devolution in the form that it's set up now. We have a big issue with the combined authority more than the mayor position. I've already said I'll only take 30,000. I'm not in it for the money. It is expensive, so I'm actually looking to keep control of the cost of the combined authority, which have been running since last summer. 14 million just to set it up. Who knows how many millions per year it's already costing. I don't believe that it will actually generate the money in itself to actually pay for itself. So I'm saying,
so why run them?
One of the reasons that I'm running is absolutely to keep control of those costs, to let you know what it's doing. If you walk down the street, almost no one will be able to tell you what the combined authority is, how it works, how it's running, how it's self-scrutinising itself. All these things, one of the reasons I'm running is for that. There are a lot of reasons, but that is one of the big reasons.
And James Byrne, you too have also said, you too have said that you would live on something more like a typical West Midlands income in this, but isn't that just a piece of gesture politics on your part?
Not at all. So, as you say, in 2012, people in Birmingham and Coventry voted against having a mayor, and now they have a mayor that they didn't want and didn't vote for. And one thing that's really clear from all the hustings we've done is people don't want a mayor. Mayors can work, but the big difference between the mayor here and in London is when you vote for a mayor in London, on the same day you vote for assembly members to speak up for every single area of the whole region, to hold that mayor to account and make sure that mayor is working for you and for your benefit. You're not going to have that vote here. Here you will have a mayor who will be held to account by colleagues of the people running the authority, who will meet a handful of times a year with no opposition politicians there at all. It's a real scandal. So a mayor could work and can work, but we need more accountability, more scrutiny and more honesty.
W. Nielsen, no shortage of people who think there is an unnecessary extra jam there of bureaucracy.
Well, if you want a man to do the job, it's often said, get somebody who doesn't really want to do it. Like many people, I campaigned against the directly elected mayor, mainly for the reason we already have government in the West Midlands. We already have councils, council leaders. This isn't an extra layer of government. It's an extra layer of fog designed to create a circumstance whereby leaders of local councils can do deals with a Chancellor of the Exchequer operating under austerity guidelines in order that they can carry out cuts to welfare and social services just as they're continuing to do. I'm standing because I want to campaign against that. I want to abolish that. I want to create people's assemblies in every borough so there's a much more connected kind of democracy between the professional politicians and ordinary people.
Okay. Can I just quickly ask you about the salary, the 79,000, because some people obviously feel it's too much, it's extravagant, and yet if you look at the relativities, it's considerably less than the one suggested Mayor of Manchester, certainly much less than Mayor of London.
Less than the Police and Crime Commissioner, which is rather curious, I think.
I don't think politicians should set their own pay. I think it should be an independent body that sets the pay, and whatever they say is the pay, I'll take the pay that they set. But let me just come back on Graham saying...
Okay, sorry. Final word from Mr Slater on this, because you asked this question. What do you make of what you've heard?
Well, I still think it's just a waste of money. And when it comes to casting my vote, I'm going to spoil my paper and write across it, no mayor, please. And that's going to be it.
But isn't that a great waste of an opportunity that you've got here, given
It sends a message back. I tell you, when they count the votes, you may well find that the overwhelming majority will be spoilt papers. And if that's the case, that message will go back to central government and they'll say, look, we do not want a mayor.
Anybody have any sympathy for this argument that we don't really